Hi, I'm Morgan.
And I'm Stevie.
And welcome to the Unhinged Smut Book Club podcast. That makes me laugh every time.
If you don't have just copious amounts of sex during heat, you'll explode or something.
I can relate. I think I understand.
Everyone is super psyched to play Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I feel like I was being gaslit by Ali Hazelwood.
Yeah, because you can take the girl out of college, but you cannot take the mental illness out of the girl. I tell you what.
It is horny for the sake of romance, which we in the biz like to call yearning.
We discuss the most unhinged smut that the publishing world has to offer.
It's a book club, but for sluts.
For fuck's sake, we're recording virtually again because I'm days away from shoving this baby out of my body. Literally. She has an eviction
It's baby
notice.
watch.
Yep.
We're on baby
got
watch.
Membrane sweep today. Your girl is ready.
How was that?
Not as bad as I thought it was. My doctor kept being like, "Are you okay?
See?
Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I was like, "Brother, this is nothing compared to an IUD insertion."
I told you.
Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't
Yeah, you and Tay were super worried about it. And I was like, y'all be fine.
Because some people are like, "Oh my God, that's the worst thing I've ever experienced." And I'm like...
Literally, I've had ankle sprains worse.
Yeah, it was fine. So we'll see if it does anything.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, this was just I'm willing to try anything type of thing. So
absolutely.
If it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. Pitocin will. Anyways, how are you doing?
I'm okay. We just got back from 7 full days in Italy, but 9 days with travel. And I caught, I COVID, right? And then feeling froggy, feeling great, caught some type of bubonic plague in Rome. Because we took nothing but public transportation.
That'll do it.
I have never experienced in my years of travel public transportation quite like Rome. Even I've done Paris, I've done London. I've never seen people pack into a bus before.
And you've been to Istanbul.
The way they do. I've taken public transportation in Istanbul. I've taken public transportation in Athens. I didn't take public transportation. I witnessed public transportation in Morocco.
Yeah.
Still does not compare to what I saw was a part of in Rome.
That's saying something.
So, right? Anyway, otherwise feeling great. Italy was wonderful. My dad has been here since the 21st. He leaves tomorrow. I admitted to him out loud that I have a podcast.
I also told my
and he was
stepmom.
like, "What is it about?" and he was like, "What is it about?" And I was like, I don't want to talk about that. He was like, "Well, what is it called?" And I was like, "I don't want to tell you that." And I told him what it was about, and he laughed and he thought it was silly. And I could tell he was a little embarrassed, me telling him about it. But yeah, I told him about it. But he's like, "What's it called?" And I'm like, I am not ever going to tell you that.
No, because I
don't want you listening to it.
We're either talking about sex or politics, neither of which your dad wants to hear from you. So
yeah.
pretty.
We were actually talking politics in the dining room before I came up here to do this. So we'll talk politics, right? But
yeah, but
any hoodles.
Should we do some self promo?
Oh my God, I would love to do some self promo.
Go for it, girl.
So, did you know, probably, hopefully you know by now, that we have a bookshop.org storefront. So when you shop using our bookshop.org storefront link, you not only help make our podcasting dreams come true because we get a small commission from bookshop.org, but you also help to keep small independent bookshops running because a portion of your purchase goes to supporting an indie bookstore of your choice. So you can find the link to our storefront in our episode description, also in our link tree on all of our socials.
We are covering Mate by Ali Hazelwood. It's Morgan's birthday month, so we had to do Ali Hazelwood, plus it just came out, plus we both fucking loved Bride. So yeah, there you go. Do you want to tell us about the author as if no one's heard of her?
The small independent, never before heard of author Ali Hazelwood is originally from Italy, but she's also lived in Japan and Germany. Eventually moved to the US and pursued her PhD in neuroscience. She was a professor for about 3 years, but in 2022, she quit to write full time. When she's not writing, you can find her prowling around AO3, binge watching shows with her 3 feline overlords and her almost equally feline husband, crocheting and eating candy.
Her and I have so much in common. We should be best friends. So, the back of the book summary is Serena Paris is orphaned, packless, and one of a kind. Coming forward as the first human were hybrid, was supposed to heal a centuries-long rift between species. Instead, it made her a target, prey for the ruthless political machinations between wares, vampires, and humans. With her enemies closing in on her, she has only one option left, if he'll have her. As Alpha of the Northwest Pack, Cohen Alexander commands obedience. His authority is so absolute, only a fool would threaten his mate. It doesn't matter if Serena doesn't reciprocate his feelings, nothing will stop him from keeping her safe. But power-hungry vampires and wares are not the only threats chasing Serena. Sooner or later, her past is bound to catch up with her, and Cohen might be the only thing standing between her and total annihilation.
Ew.
So how did we hear about this book?
Listen, I knew that this book was coming before it was officially announced because I am so fucking tapped in to the Aliverse always for everything.
Nice. Yeah, we love her. We both were frothing at the mouth over Bride, so...
Literally.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take that comment back. Never mind.
Oh my god, if you hear any ruckus, it's my cat chasing his own tail, like an absolute psychopath. Sorry. So, tropes. We have forced proximity. We have fated mates with like a twist because it's a little like unrequited, rejected mates, sort of, not really. It is a bit of a slow burn, especially for this pod. It takes a long time to get to the good stuff. We got an alpha male. We have a bit of grumpy sunshine. And it is, of course, Omegaverse, and there is Gnawing.
There's also, if you read Bride, there's some found family aspect into it because both Misery and Serena were orphans. And they've been taken, like, they found each other in family, but they've also, like, taken in, they've been taken in by the packs with found family.
Is Misery an orphan?
Misery wasn't an orphan.
Yeah.
She was the collateral.
Yeah. Okay, but she was raised separately. Yeah, she was raised away from her family. So yeah, found family. Do you want to cover the trigger warnings?
Sure.
Those are all from Ali Hazelwood's website.
Okay, perfect. Death of several people within the context of a war between different species, vampires, werewolves, and humans. Frequent mentions of blood, abductions, descriptions of suicide, threats of assault, including sexual and of violence, poisoning and attempted murder, attempted kidnapping and harming of a child, but she is unharmed, death of parents, explicit and graphic sexual content, nodding, cursing and vulgar language, cults and brainwashing, mating cycles, child neglect in the past, discussions of terminal illness, drugs, discussions of infertility, and discussions of pregnancy.
Okay. And so this is the spot where we do a complete, no holding back storyline recap. So entirely spoilers.
There will be
if you haven't read the book, now is the time to pause.
What are you doing if you haven't read the book?
Go ahead and make sure you have this video or this podcast episode saved and downloaded, and leave a 5-star review as an apology for not finishing your homework on time. Thank you so much. And then come back when you're ready.
Come back.
I devoured this book, so it should not take you long.
Yep.
Okay. So a lot happens in this book. So as I was typing this up, I was like, was this small thing before or after? So I might have like a little bit of flubs in there, but nothing too crazy. I think we're good. So we start with our girl Serena, who is BFFs with Misery from Bride. It opens on her running away from a vampire pursuing her in the middle of the forest. Cohen, her fated and rejected mate, shows up in the nick of time to rescue her. And we learn that she's been living isolated in basically a cabin in the woods for months, as she requested, under the guise of working through her trauma from everything that happened in Bride. You know, the whole like kidnapping, figuring out your werewolfing and shift, and, you know, murder / kinda eating several vampires. Casual, totally a normal thing to go through. A Tuesday, if you will. In reality, she's been diagnosed with a terminal werewolf disease that may make her unsafe to be near other people, and she doesn't want to stress anyone out with it because, oh, hey, childhood trauma. She keeps this secret for quite a while, but there's a wrench in her plan because we learn from Cohen that since she came out as the first were-human crossbreed, vampires are now after her so that she can A, be studied, but B, more like can't be used as a symbol to unite the wares and the humans, because in this universe the three species have like constant tensions, or pretty much so they think. Oh my god, I can't fucking read. The three species have constant tensions, pretty much, so think of them as basically like political parties cohabitating while trying to serve their own interests. It's just kind of like not like at war, but they're not besties by any means. So, being her mate, though he's trying to be like so chill about it, like it's not even that big of a deal, Cohen obviously can't have that. And whether the mate bond is reciprocal, an attack on her would be personal for him, so he moves her into his place, which she's like, please fucking don't. And he's like, oh, you think you can protect yourself? I'm gonna have you box my ex-girlfriend from high school and prove it. She loses. She moves in with Cohen, and she's like, fuck.
And the reason she's so upset about all of this is because she thinks that she is sick with this terminal illness, and she's like up all night, basically throwing up, having a fever, just like generally being ill. And she's like, there's no way I can hide the fact that I'm dying if I'm living in the same house with this man.
And there's a lot of like, you might lose control and like attack someone.
Yes, very much worried about that.
So yeah, so she like is like, at least Cohen can take it. So what society doesn't know is Lo's younger sister, Anna, who's like 7, is also a half-breed, and Serena is basically being really public on purpose to keep the eyes off of her and any suspicion off of her, because she's literally a baby,
right,
and doesn't need to live like that. And so she intends to be very public about where she is, and they concoct this plan to draw the vampires to them and hunt them as they like cross into Cohen's territory. So lucky for Cohen, Serena is beloved immediately by like everyone in the pack except a few weirdos who have like a weird speciesism bullshit going on. But anyway, everyone is like super psyched to play Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But unfortunately for Serena, her symptoms / death sentence comes to light pretty quickly as she's living with Cohen, and suddenly he's way less chill about her being his mate and dying, and he rushes her to the were doctor, who basically tells them what the other doctors have said, until a woman looks at her file and is like, hey, you fucking idiots, she's not dying, she's going into heat, you stupid, stupid, stupid men, because the patriarchy is going to patriarchy. And it be like that sometimes.
Every time.
Every time. Like, honestly, they should have just been like, yeah, you're dying, it's terminal, there's nothing you can do about it, but maybe lose a couple pounds, and then it would have been like, yeah.
Spot on.
Or maybe, is it all in your head?
Are you
just looking for attention?
Are you sure you're getting a fever every single night? Have you like taken your temperature?
Should we just put you on anxiety medication and see if that fixes it?
What if we put you on birth control?
Which actually probably would have helped in this case. The one time
a doctor does not suggest birth control.
All right. Christ alive. So this poses some problems because, side note, she comes out to this world as a hybrid in like a TV interview, and she's sitting there waiting to be interviewed, and she's listening to the clip that's running before her interview with a doctor who did her like genetic screening, and like that is how she finds out that she's probably infertile. Mm-hmm. Which sucks.
Yeah.
So that is where the fertility, infertility, blah, blah, blah comes in. Anyways, so she's going into heat, and this poses a problem because if you don't have like just copious amounts of sex during heat, you'll like explode or something. It's just not a good time.
I can
But we
relate.
learn that Morgan's like, yeah, I ovulate, so I'm pretty sure I know what that's like.
I think I understand.
I love you. Anyways, so we learned that Cohen can't have sex with her because apparently the Northwest Pack, Cohen's territory, was heavily influenced by Catholicism or something, because he had to take an abstinence pledge when he became alpha, like some kind of furry priest. The point being that the pack will be his number one priority, and it would be harder for enemies to like target him, manipulate him, like use her as a pawn. But of course, Serena is disgusted at the idea of sex with anyone but Cohen, who's totally not her mate, for sure. For sure. Definitely not reciprocated one-way mate bond, because that's super common. And like, she's just like, has a crush on him, like a totally casual crush.
She just thinks like he's like super fun to be around, and he like smells really nice, and also like he's really good to look at, and also he's like super funny, and he can kind of like read her mind and like finish her sentences before she like even says them out loud, and like,
and she feels like instinctually safe with him, and she keeps like stealing his sheets and his clothes to make a little nest in her bedroom.
Yeah, no, but absolutely,
which is totally not his mate, for sure.
No,
absolutely. Get with it, guys.
No, that's just what roommates do, and they were roommates.
But anyways, so she's like, well, I'm not doing it with someone else, so I guess I'm just going to suffer through it. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. At some point after that, Serena does have like a preheat fit, and we learn that Cohen is a man that will talk you through it.
Yes, he is.
Despite being basically a born-again virgin at this point. But we start to realize that this heat thing is going to be very complicated and hard to navigate. But of course, things cannot be as easy as dodging vampires and dealing with heat, because guess what? Werewolf cult. Which is a mix of wares and the humans they convinced could turn into wares magically through servitude and probably some weird polygamy sex stuff, because it is a cult that was started by a man. So there's definitely weird sex stuff happening.
Patriarchy strikes again.
It does every time. Oh my god. This patriarchy's got hands. So they see Serena as proof that humans can become were, and now are after her and calling her Ava? Eva? I didn't listen. Ava? Okay, I didn't listen to the audiobook. So she dodges one like semi-kidnapping attempt. In the meantime, tension between her and Cohen is just blossoming at like an exponential rate. But as soon as his back is turned, they snatch her right up. They chloroform her. But when she wakes up, they're like, what? You're totally not kidnapped or a prisoner. You can leave like anytime, but what if you didn't? Because surprise, I'm your last living family member, and surprise, your father was the cult leader of this cult, who was responsible for the deaths of thousands of people, including Cohen's parents. And oh, by the way, Cohen killed your parents too, but if it makes you feel better, here's some pictures of your mom.
Yeah.
And I'll show you a letter if you stay. And so...
And by the way, we told Cohen that you're here, and he's on his way here to come get you.
For sure, which was like totally the plan.
But you can leave anytime.
And like, yeah, definitely. But Cohen will be showing up, whether you're here or not. So they also know Serena is about to go into heat, and they paint her with a bunch of symbols, and they try and pimp her out to some of the cult members, because it's like, oh, hi, Auntie, nice to meet you. Thanks for the werewolf smorgasbord. I'm good. Hard pass. But they managed to keep her around a bit with info about her family, mainly her mom, Cohen on the hook. But honestly, like, what orphan with zero childhood memories wouldn't want to know about her family, even if they are a crazy murder cult?
Yeah.
But Cohen shows up, and her aunt tries to, like, use the he killed your parents to, like, manipulate her a bit. And she's also, like, starting to have a heat fit. And so, like, is losing it a little bit. And her aunt gives her a knife and is like, you know what you need to do. And she's like, yeah, I do know what I need to do. And she plays along and then just slices through Cohen's bonds that are keeping him tied up. And then he busts her right out of there. with just, a mild bloodbath left in his wake, but the leader, Serena's aunt, is still at large. And they have a few human people that they have, I don't want to say kidnapped, but I think they would say rescued. The people might say kidnapped. They're going for a, what is it when you talk someone out of like a cult mindset?
Reprogramming?
There you go. Yeah.
Deprogramming?
And one of deprogramming, that's the word. And one of them was like, just like fell in love with Serena, basically, in like a platonic, I'm a teenage girl and I look up to you kind of way. And so she is working, like cooperating with them quite a bit.
Mhm.
So that's great. But anyways, pretty soon after this, Serena goes into full-blown heat. I think it might be right after because she still has the symbols drawn on her.
Yes.
And Cohen is like, holy shit, sexy symbols. Because they like accentuate where her like wolf glands are, where like a mate bite would happen. And anyways, yeah. So she goes into full-blown heat. It is so silly. I'm so happy I live in an era where the Omegaverse exists.
So same.
I was born in the right generation.
Absolutely.
I can tell you that much. I really hope you can't hear my cat being psycho.
Not really.
If you can,
I just heard.
It's either
fine.
It's either that or hearing him meow at the door. So
it's fine. Life happens.
It is what it is. But yeah, so she goes into full-blown heat, and all of Cohen's seconds are like, we know what he's going to do for you, and we are going to look the other way and cover for him, and there will be no questions asked, and the assembly will never know about it. And Serena's like, cool. And she tries to resist a little bit at first of like, you don't have to do this. I like, just like the lines of consent of like, if you feel obligated, that's gross and not sexy. And he's like, I wouldn't be here if I didn't want to be here. Yeah. So let the fuck fest begin. Seriously, it's like multiple chapters of just straight fucking.
Ali said, I made you wait to over the halfway point of this book, and now I'm going to feed you. And for that we say, thank you, mother.
Yes, ma'am. It is the type of situation where I'm like, I don't think they have showered or brushed their teeth in days.
Well, no, because literally she tries to shower and he's like,
True.
Get back in here. And then at the end of her heat, she does shower and he's like, how fucking dare you? And ruins her all over again. Yeah,
it is a very primal situation in a lot of in even some of the less sexy ways. But, So it goes. So the heat comes to an end, and Cohen is just fully sexpotized and is like, I'm going to step down as alpha so that we can be together and live happily ever after. And Serena's like, I think the fuck not, actually. Even though she is very sad about it and does want to be with him, but he's totally not her mate, you guys. Totally not. It's just like a normal, feels very normal about him.
Yeah.
Definitely not a mate bond.
No.
But on the bright side, she's able to shift again, which is super rad because she hasn't been able to for months due to the whole health debacle. And so that's super fun for her. Oh, also, yeah, by the way, he's totally not her mate, but she did happen to start this whole heat process immediately after meeting him.
I cannot wait to talk about this with you. So continue.
Okay, so anyways, during this little stalemate of theirs of, I'll step down and we can be together, and she's like, you're not putting that on me, and these people need you, and I'm not that selfish. We learn that the cult is plotting, and they are armed and dangerous, literally. So the pack hatches a plan where Serena will be the bait, and they'll track her and take him down. And this goes off, frankly, without a hitch for the most part, except the whole Serena's cult leader aunt takes aim at Cohen with a gun. And so Serena jumps in front of him, thus literally taking a bullet for him.
But they're not mates.
Guys, everything's fine. And they're totally not mates. She'd do that for anybody. Anybody. Yeah. But everything's fine. Everyone's alive and healthy. She got like hit in the arm or something. And Cohen talked to the assembly and they decided, seeing as when they were hatching this plan, Serena stood up to Cohen when he was trying to protect her at the expense of the pack. She volunteered to be bait, and the whole being willing to die for him thing, they decided that she proved that she was definitely not that she's going to be more of an asset to him than a weakness. And also, frankly, regardless of whether they were together or not, she was clearly already a weakness of his. So they rescinded the celibacy vow.
Yay!
Oh, and then, spoiler alert, surprise guys, Serena finally realizes that he is in fact her mate, because duh, and they live happily ever after.
Hooray!
Yes! So good. Okay, so what are your first impressions?
Oh my god. I was obsessed from the beginning. The snark, top tier for me. And it wasn't so much that like they hated each other, but it was like, you know, Cohen was like, I don't want you. And so it was like this unrequited thing. So I loved the snark. I loved the like, we're getting under each other's skin in like a really playful, like bantery kind of way.
I love that you could tell the whole time, because she just kept pointing out that he was like fighting a smile when she would be silly goofy. And it's like, brother, stop fighting it. Just accept it.
I love that he called her Killer, like he had a pet name for her. And
love it.
This book gave me exactly what I want from Ali Hazelwood, which is like a girl who's totally in denial about this man being in love with her. All the while, you can like literally feel the yearning from him radiating through the pages.
Yes. She does it so well.
Oh my god, I don't want to say nobody does it like Ali Hazelwood does it, because like I'm not reading every single book that's published, but like damn. This book was everything that I want from an Ali Hazelwood book. I really like, because I've read everything she's written now at this point. I really like the Bride universe, the Bride series, however you want to call it. I don't see a Bride 3 coming, unfortunately, because it didn't really like leave it open the way Bride did, which makes me so sad, because this world is so different, because she's a contemporary author. This world is so different, and I really like the way that both Bride and Mate give you like political intrigue. They give you like a whodunit vibe. They give you plotting. They give you scheming. They give you action and tension. And you don't get that in a contemporary romance book from Ali. The only contemporary romance book you're going to get that from an Ali is Love on the Brain. But like, that's it. The rest of them are all just like normal contemporary romances. They're not really high stakes. Not to say that like this one is super, super high stakes. It like, it doesn't grab you the way like a horror or a thriller would, right? Like, there's no like loopy doopy stomach feelings. Sometimes when I read thriller books, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster where like my stomach drops. But yeah, so you don't get that, but you get something different from these books that you don't get from a lot of other books, with like the amazing romance writing that Ali Hazelwood does. So yeah, I think those were my first impressions. And Cohen is obviously God damn.
Yeah, I would fold like a fucking lawn chair for someone who's mean to me like Cohen.
Oh,
yeah, because you can take the girl out of college, but you cannot take the mental illness out of the girl. I tell you what. Like I want to fuck you, but like don't get in your head about it. Don't want to go to your head.
It's purely biological.
Like, you can go to my head. Anyways, this series, one thing about me, I am a diehard Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. I have a giant ass Buffy the Vampire Slayer tattoo. And this series is
Which one is it?
On my forearm.
I don't know anything Buffy.
I know you don't. It's subtle. It's very artfully done.
Okay.
I do say so myself.
You'll have to show me next time.
Yeah, the series is so Buffy coded. I ate it up. Just like the sense of humor and the banter and the wittiness and the like being at death's door but tee-hee-heeing about it. It's so Buffy coded. I ate it up. I will say, thank God for the Kindle dictionary where you can just highlight a word.
Thank you for saying that, because so many times I was like, what the fuck is this word?
So many times. Her vocabulary is just so much smarter than mine. Which makes sense because she's literally a neuroscientist.
Yeah, she has a PhD in neuroscience, and also she, as far as I know, has never carried a pregnancy long enough for it to eat her brain. So
yeah, can't relate to that. But that brings me to, I have this under things I loved that weren't smut, but I loved that there was a science person handling like genetics of all of it.
Yeah.
Which made it, because I know enough to know when someone's like talking out of their 9th grade biology have an ass.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, oh yeah, I'm in on it.
Not the science person, but with her being a neuroscientist, so a lot of her contemporary romances are like centered around STEM.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say all of them are centered around some type of STEM and academia. Believe it or not, all of them. None of it, I'm not a science person, but none of it ever seems too far-fetched in a way of like, I'm like, oh, well, she's definitely lying about that. The only one that like I couldn't necessarily follow was Love on the Brain, which was about neuroscience. So.
Yeah. Yeah. She writes in a way where it's like, oh, you know what she's talking about. And like, it's not bullshit made up for the sake of fitting a plot narrative.
Right.
But she writes it in a way where it is still like accessible to people who like don't know science, which is nice. I appreciate.
Yeah. What are some other things that you loved?
Okay, let's get into what we loved. I really like Serena's character. I feel like it was a very well thought out characterization of the type of person who was an orphan, didn't really have a childhood, was kind of always, she was the like plaything for Misery to keep her happy.
Yeah.
Was always kind of, her purpose was to keep someone else happy her entire life. You know what I mean? Even though her and Misery have a wonderful friendship now, it's still like started out that way. And I liked that we got to know more about what her life looked like outside of Misery's lens, because she, while they didn't know each other very well, I'm sure has a very limited understanding, because knowing Misery's character and then hearing how she had to like advocate just to get like a school uniform that fit her properly.
Yeah.
Obviously Misery didn't know that, because Misery would have been like, are you fucking kidding me? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So
like, I liked that a lot. I think aside from all of the other things I said, I liked that a lot.
I did like that Serena got her dues when it came to Cohen, right? So you mentioned that Serena had to basically scrounge for everything, and when it came to Cohen, there was no scrounging. I liked the princess treatment that Cohen gave her, which made sense in terms of like the mate situation, because why wouldn't a mate do that, right? Him also subconsciously not knowing about the heat, like subconsciously knowing about the heat, like some biology in him, I think, could sense it. Whether like
because he was starting to get a little crazy there too.
Yes, but the way that it didn't matter what what Serena wanted or needed, it was never too far. At no point in their relationship was Serena too much or asking for too much. Serena wasn't really ever asking for anything, and that was unacceptable to Cohen in a way. She deserved whatever it was that she desired. I think I highlighted something that said effectively that like she's teasing him about the house, about like, does it have furniture, and like there's barely anywhere to sit, and he was like, I'll fill the whole house with furniture if it makes you happy, just stuff like that, where she was never too much. She never asked for anything, and yet Cohen delivered time and time and time again. He recognized her value in the way that he cared for her, without even like knowing it himself yet. And I really enjoyed watching their relationship go from like, our best friends are in love and married, and so like we're kind of stuck with each other effectively, and so like we have this like snarky relationship kind of thing to friends to lovers. Like the whole relationship developed in front of your eyes. It wasn't just this like, you're my mate, we be fucking. Because it absolutely could have gone that way. If you read any other
it does so often.
type of like werewolf books, one that touches on it that I have read is The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson, which is really good. If you are into
that one.
Okay, good. I couldn't remember if you had read that one or not. But like that touches on the mate situation of, or not the mate situation, the heat situation of like, just you can hire someone to come fuck you when you're in your heat. But where was I going with this? That one kind of does get into the relationship develops in that one, but they're more together, like pairing up in a way of like, let's just fucking get it over with, because they kind of hate each other. And I haven't read enough werewolf books, but I can see very easily how we can slide down this slope of just like, we're in heat, we're going to bang this out, and we're just bang, 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 bang. But the relationship development between Cohen and Serena for me is really sweet. It's very thoughtful. It has a really, really good character arc with a really good payoff at the end of it when you get to the full-blown heat and all of the things that come with it.
So with that, should we talk smut?
Oh my god, let's talk smut.
I'm going to be honest with you, it's kind of a blur for me. Like, it was so much.
Man, it and so when Ali's bio says that she's perusing AO3 or prowling AO3, Ali used to write fan fiction. That's how she got her chops, was a fan fiction writer. Makes sense. And it does when you read it. The way that she produces books, publishes books, is really, really intense in the same way that fan fiction writers are used to doing. And the amount of smut that the woman can chuck into a book and make it work it's very, very obvious that she used to be a fan fiction writer.
And I am so impressed at her ability to write like horny books without it feeling gratuitous.
So horny. Because it's yearning. It's not necessarily, it's not horny for the sake of being horny. It is horny for the sake of romance, which we in the biz like to call yearning. I literally annotated in my book, the yearning in this book is going to kill me. Because again, like you said, she knows how to write a man that yearns. And it's palpable even from the female main character's point of view. Like like very early on, when Serena was doing the hand game thing, and he was like, well, what did I get if I pick the other one? She was like, a hug. He was like, well, I want to change my answer.
And this is when he's still trying to be so cool about it, too.
Yeah. And he does that over and over and over again, right? And so like you get those little glimpses, like you said earlier, where he's like, she's noting that like he's fighting a smile, just little things like that. Like like
you can tell how much even though the main character's clueless and you're only getting her perspective as the reader, you can still feel it. It's great. So okay, well, let's talk about the scene first and foremost where he talks her through masturbating, essentially, to get herself through one of her little fits. Yeah, because poor thing cannot climax like without the touch of another person, like specifically him. And so he is like master of restraint to a whole other fucking level, because she's like fully just out of her mind. And he's like, okay, we can get through this.
I have so many things highlighted, little things like her laughter adjusts the spin of his atoms.
Right?
Shut up.
There's so many cute things. Oh, and I love, just like it was in Bride, where the little Epigraph, is that what that's called?
Epaulet? No,
Epaulets.
no, I think
epigraph.
Epigraphs. Epaulets are things that go on uniforms.
Yeah, I was like, hold on. Are the only little clips from his POV that you get that clues you into like just how hard he's falling. I love it. I really don't have a lot to say about the smut. It was great.
Yeah, there's none of it, and then there's all of it. So Cohen helps her get off. He talks her through it, and then there's a little bit of dry humping in another scene.
Yes,
in like a preheat bleed through, and then
he's basically like, if I climax, that's means I've crossed a line. Like, we'll get you off, and then I will go into a separate room by myself and be left alone with my thoughts. Poor guy. But yeah, so we get to the heat where he's like, fuck it. I can't let her suffer through this.
Yeah.
And of course he's absolutely schlangling in.
Of course.
Even this is schlangling
pre-knot.
Yes.
He does a big man.
It's a lot. Right? Which, fair enough. I mean, you're not going to have an alpha with a micropene, I guess.
Absolutely not. Unacceptable. Yeah. Not in an Ali Hazelwood book.
Then it just goes.
I thought when we talk about the smut of it all and the knot and the knots, the plural, Misery tried to warn Serena about it. Not once, but twice.
Oh, man.
And then
poor
Cohen,
Serena, people are like, keep expecting her to know things, and she's like, I am aware, but I know
was raised by humans.
Yeah.
So
that was a surprise.
Yeah.
Luckily for them, a pleasant surprise, but surprise nonetheless.
Surprise. I mean, in fairness, Misery didn't really know either, and she also found out mid-coitus.
But Lo, yes, but Lo didn't like.
Lo wasn't
it upon her.
That's true. And Lo also wasn't like, take my knot, you can do it. And Misery was like, what the fuck is going on? Lo talked her through it.
Yeah.
And so like the break
was like,
in
surprise, Shawty.
He wasn't even like surprised. He thought she knew. And so then the break in the middle of the heat fuckfest to then she was like, I need a biology lesson right now. And that nothing was funnier to me than that. I mean, like, so many things were funny to me, but nothing was funnier to me than Serena being absolutely surprised by this knot after her sister tried to warn her twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then her mate, not mate, is like, yeah, take it. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? She literally has no idea. She's into it, but she's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Not a clue. So I thought that was hilarious. But what is it, like 4 chapters in a row of just fucking.
It's a lot. Well, yeah.
Maybe 2. Who knows? But we do also get a sex scene in the epilogue, which I'm not always a super fan of. However, I will let this one slide because it wasn't really giving us like a lead up to a third book. So it's fine.
I was kind of hoping for like a surprise pregnancy personally.
Oh, okay. I was as well.
Because I was expecting it, because they do say like what can send you into heat is being near someone who you are, I think they said sexually not competitive.
Compatible
with. I can't remember if they said sexually or like reproductively compatible.
Regardless, that is the point of a mate, is that it was reproductively compatible.
Yeah. And so I feel like, but also like as a woman and as like a person who's reproduced and tried to reproduce, and like, I mean, you know, it's a very complicated thing that a lot of people go through and are told one thing and then surprise you get pregnant. Like fucking she talks about this, but a happy hermit is pregnant right now.
Yeah,
after
Lily.
years and years and years of infertility. And so like every time she posts her belly bump, I'm like, I'm just so happy for her. But I'm also really pregnant, so that's probably why I'm like anyways, it's such a complicated issue. And I do appreciate that she wasn't like, oh, happy ending. Turns out she's not infertile. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
I think it leaves it open to like they can find happiness together, whether that has an unexpected ending or not.
Yeah.
But I was expecting it.
Correct.
But,
I agree.
Yeah.
But
the sex scene in the epilogue is the mate marking. Because
Yeah.
she just goes, ah. She's like, oh my God, what did I just do?
She corn-cobbed him.
So
she corn-cobbed him.
She's like, I blacked out. I'm so sorry. And he was like, don't apologize.
No, it's fine.
And she's like, and she was like, do you want to do it back to me? And he's like, do you want me to do it back to you? And she's like, I mean, if you want, you brought it up once and then you never brought it up again. And like, it's just,
he's like, I was trying to give you autonomy and space without putting pressure on you.
And she's like, have you met you? Space is not what you give me, babe. That's not what I've grown to expect from you.
Is the space in the room with us right now?
And so, and so she's like, yeah, fucking bite me, bitch. And then they mate mark each other and live happily ever after their boring lives. Happily boring lives.
Happily boring lives, which is exactly what they want.
Exactly. Because boring means peaceful in this case. Yeah.
Okay, let's get into some critiques. I don't have many.
I have one big one.
But I have one big one, and we might have the same one. I haven't checked your notes at all. So hang on, let me check your notes and see.
Does it relate to you having a 7-year-old and 7-year-old representation?
No, it does not. But go for it.
Okay, we don't have the same critique. Ali Hazelwood, ma'am, have you met a 7-year-old? Because imagine baby Morgan popping up into a FaceTime going, I lost 2 tooths. She has entirely too much self-respect for that. Like, I can't pronounce your name of it all. All of that. I'm like, ma'am, you're thinking of like a 4-year-old. You're thinking of a 4-year-old.
Yeah. Anna, that's fair. My child would never say tooths, but she would be like, I lost 2 teeth, and like really she'd get all up in the grill about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'd go try and stick her tongue through her teeth.
Yeah. She'd be trying to gross someone out about it, not be like, look at me, I'm cute and little.
Yeah, but listen, my almost 7-year-old is not the traditional almost 7-year-old.
I think she's not traditional in a lot of ways, but as far as like age and sense of humor and being able to pronounce words,
fair enough. Yeah, no, she's right on track. Yeah.
Good representation.
She rejects most things feminine, but also loves sparkles and rainbows and unicorns, but not unicorns, but dinosaurs. Her favorite color is black. She will tell you, not pink, not at all pink. It's her least favorite color. But
so metal.
Given the choice, she gets to dress herself, and like
that's her father's daughter.
Most days, the girl is picking pink out of her closet to wear. So I don't know.
But totally, she's so not like other girls.
No, she's absolutely not like other girls. She's gonna kill me.
Anyways, what's your critique?
Okay, so patriarchy. This is the thing that I wanted to talk about. It's not necessarily like a critique, but it is something that I picked up on immediately of like what I know about mates. I'm just frustrated that like nobody else in the book picked up on it until we got to like the scene with the female doctor with Layla, that nobody else picked up on the fact that she was in heat. I understand that she doesn't pick up on the fact that she's in heat, but Cohen and Serena meet, and within
her biology just goes sideways.
Right. She suddenly becomes incredibly ill. The doctors cannot figure out what it is. She gets in closer proximity to Cohen because she's hiding up in the Northwest, and she's sicker than ever. But then, like, being with him and being around him. Oh my God, Stevie, there's another fucking spider in my fucking bedroom. What is happening?
Why the bedroom? And you get all the big fat ones.
So the one that crawled on me last night was itty bitty, truly itty bitty.
Yeah.
But this one that I'm looking at is more like medium sized, and it's crawling up the door frame, like by my bathroom.
I hate it.
And then I still got eyes on this big motherfucker that's here in the corner above my head. I'm gonna get the vacuum when we're done here. But I just saw another one fucking crawl. My husband seriously has to be planning my demise.
I think he might be.
The government is shut down, and I truly do understand that, like, if this keeps going, money's gonna get tight, but do we need the life insurance that badly that he has to sick the spiders on me?
Honestly. Seems like it.
Just truly barbaric.
Watch your back.
I'm not sleeping anymore. Anyway.
With that, I think they tried to say that because she's a hybrid, it doesn't necessarily look like a normal heat, and it's really, really drawn out in a way that I think.
Womp womp. Nah, man. Yeah. As soon as she was like, I've never gotten a period before because I'm a hybrid. And I was like, oh, you're going to go into heat soon then. And then, like, this is not my first Omegaverse, Ali.
Yeah, right.
I was like, oh, you're going to go into heat soon.
If you know, you know. And you're going to know quick.
Right. And so, like, I'm seeing
into this genre.
I felt like I was being gaslit by Ali Hazelwood, personally. This felt like a personal affront because she's like, I've never gotten a period before. I knew that she had met Cohen, and like the time, I didn't have like an exact timeline because I haven't read Bride since I read Bride. Like, I've never reread Bride. So I didn't have an exact timeline.
That is one thing I would put this not in critiques, but like whatever. I wish I read Bride more recently or reread it.
Yeah. It's not necessary.
Of it all.
Yes. Yeah. So our good friend Brooke actually texted me like last week. She was like, hey, have you heard of Mate yet? It's the second book. Or she said, have you read Mate yet? It's the second book after Bride. Apparently it came out like a couple weeks ago. Like, I just finished it and I was like, oh yeah, I've started it, but I haven't gotten a chance to finish it yet because I've been busy. When you are the person who's navigating for a family of 5 all through Italy, you don't really get much time to keep your nose in a book, you know? Doing 18,000 steps a day. You know, where are you going to read? Anyway. But yeah, Brooke was like, I just finished it. And then she was like, I did have to reread Bride really quickly. So that way I could fully understand the context of what was going on in Mate. So that is something. But yeah, so like I didn't have the exact timeline of when Serena and Cohen had met, but like Serena and Cohen had met. And then she started to go in, she started to like be really ill. We talk about her never having a period. We keep talking about like a whole bunch of other little things when it comes to I don't know, just like the things that were happening, the fevers, the heat flashes, the like, there was one instance before anybody had realized what was going on, but like being in proximity to Cohen and Cohen's things made her fever less intense, right? It made her symptoms less intense, like being in proximity.
Like all the sex dreams.
Right.
That she was having.
I was like, she's going into heat, but then no, we keep going to like cortisol surge disorder. That's why I feel like I was being gaslit by Ali Hazelwood. And then they go to the doctor and the doctor's like, yeah, no, unfortunately, like her other doctors were absolutely correct. And Cohen's like, fix it, right? Like that's going to happen. And then she has like that breakthrough heat, like that little heat fit. And Cohen's like, oh, I know exactly what's happening. And he was like, you're about to go into heat. And I was like, fucking thank you. And then Layla the next day was like, yeah, so you're about to go into heat. And I'm like, okay, so I was not crazy.
Yeah.
Because I felt crazy for a second.
But I do think for like the narrative,
it fit. That's why it's not a critique. Well, like, it just is like
her thinking that she's gonna die anyways, I think was a huge motivator in like a lot of her choices for the majority of the book. So like I get why.
Yeah, for sure.
It was a choice. And I think she's just trying to make it where you're as blind as she is. You know, because she has no idea, because she doesn't have the Omegaverse. But yeah.
Could you imagine how hard the werewolf and vampire novels would go in a place where vampires and werewolves actually exist?
They'd either be so much better or so much worse.
Yeah, fair enough.
It would be one extreme or the other. Okay. Do we have any other thoughts? I think that's all my thoughts. Besides, I just fucking loved it. They're such a good time.
Yeah, they're really a good time. No thoughts, just vibes, honestly, when it comes to Ali Hazelwood. I mean, there can be thoughts. There are thoughts, obviously. We did all the thoughts. But no. Listen, if you want to have a good time, cannot recommend The Bride. If you're new to werewolf and shifter romances, Bride and Mate, I think, are a really, really good place to start. They are, this is puddles compared to what some of sorry, I'm so distracted by this fucking spider in my room. It's making a web right now.
Oh Lord. There aren't even like the omegas of it all. You know what I mean? Like some of them get really weird with like sub men. Yeah. Yeah. So how would you
That's a pod for another time.
Right. How would you rate this book?
For me, personally, as an Ali Hazelwood stan, 5 stars.
5 stars. 100%. Totally on board with you there.
I don't know if I could say anything negative about it. The vibes are right. The romance is right. The snark is right. The amount of things that I fucking highlighted. The way that she says things like her laughter rearranged the spin of his atoms. Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here.
She's an expert in male yearning. It's amazing.
Her laughter rearranges the spin of his atoms. Are you kidding me? 5 stars.
Yeah. What would the spice level be? I said like
this is spicy.
I said like 3.5, just because so much of the book there's none.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There.
But then when it's there, it's there.
In true Ali Hazelwood fashion, that is exactly how it goes. I would give it 3.5 stars purely for the sheer volume once you do get there.
Truly. Like, you can't write that many pages in a row and not get over half.
Man.
Like, over 2.5, you know?
Yeah.
So, unhinged level.
Oh, the hinges are fully on. I'd give this a 0 if I could. Well, no, there's a cult. Like, hang on.
There's a cult. I feel like Gnawing, while I am used to it, is that I gave 1.5 because
I can get down with that.
The interspecies of it all is, and the heat, that being a thing, I think adds a element of.
I feel like the heat is pretty standard though in Omegaverse books.
In Omegaverse books, but not for like typical romance people. Depends on who you're talking to.
Fair enough. Yeah, I could give it like a 1. Hinged. It's pretty hinged. The hinges maybe are a little loose. They're squeaky.
Yeah. Could use some WD-40, but that's about it. A little elbow grease.
Listen, someone else in the book could use a little bit of WD-40. All right. You ready to wrap?
I'm ready to wrap.
All right. Well, that is it for this episode of the Unhinged Smut Book Club. Thanks for reading with us. I am Morgan.
And I'm Stevie. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode filled with chaos, kink, and questionable literary choices.
Until next time, keep it spicy.